Anyway, let's get out this thing to measure their height. Yeah. I actually did a bunch of them, like all the ones in there, off camera yesterday, but I'm going to be remeasuring it. So starting off with the original skit, probably salvage. Also, a lot of these you want to see before, because either I just added them to the series after I stopped, or we didn't get that far. And the doorbell just heard is Alan. Just kidding. So it's just some people selling stuff. But anyway, we get to salvage height. So the original height I planned for this guy is going to be 45 feet tall and 50 feet long because, it isn't that long. Also, of course, in the series, Salvage is a T-Rex, but he's actually blue, like the Velociraptor from Jurassic World. Which is why I said this is first, because this just came out in 2015. And more specifically, August 20th. If you can see it, August 20th, 2015. This is the year, but I know when I got it. I had him, Skittles, Skylar, Polar Express, the Dolphin Dog, and Wolf since 2016. So I know it couldn't have been any later. Not this Wolf. This Wolf is a replacement. But getting on to his height, he is approximately 33 feet tall and 45 feet long. When I first tested it, it was 34 feet, but I guess he shrunk. So 33 feet tall and 34 feet long. He was originally going to be like 15 tons. I'll calculate their weights by the end of the video. I'm not going to make a way to do it besides just making it up. Let's go on next with Skittles, who is kind of dead down there, as you can see. Skittles has like nothing written on his tag besides very faded out words, where I actually can't see any, actually. So I just know 2016, so it's probably the next one. Also, a couple of these animals are damaged. The tongue was from my friends in 6th grade, but the eye got destroyed by Alan's dog Toya, I think. I wasn't sure if it was destroyed by my friends or Toya, but Toya definitely destroyed a couple of my animals. But moving on, it was originally 36 feet long, which I noticed he's actually bigger than Salvage and Polar Express, so I made it 50 feet. And 6 feet tall, but he's not that tall. But now, he is 43 feet long. Yes, I'm measuring feet off camera. But 43 feet long, so unlike Salvage that shrunk a foot, he actually grew by 6 inches. And he's 4 feet tall, and his head is 8 feet by 6 feet. Yeah, pretty good for a snake. Actually, slightly bigger than a Titanoboa. Which is funny because I originally intended him to be a Titanoboa before I made him his own species that doesn't exist in real life. Anyway, June 7th, 2016. I know because of his tag here, and also his birthday is going to be one of the episodes in Season 1. But yeah. I wanted to measure this while having the camera on, but it's going to be very hard. Without a stand and also probably get along, so be right back. Alright, so he is about 36, 37-ish feet tall. He has no length. I'll tell you he's about 16 feet wide because he's fat. Canonically, he is kind of fat in the series. He does have a 30-foot arm span. That's one thing I do remember. 30-foot arm span. And yeah. 36 or 37 feet tall. And up to 40 feet, including the top of his hat and ears. Moving on. Now, I don't got the dog or dolphin in this video because my father lost it when he hit it a couple years ago, which sucks because Grayson was the main character. But I have his best friend Rex, which is actually a replacement I got a couple years ago, but the original Rex was about this height anyway. And this is one I probably can do on camera, but won't. So this is another case of being just as long as he was supposed to be tall. Also, Polar Express is supposed to be 43 feet tall, and originally 36. Rex here is supposed to be 27 feet tall, but ended up being 27 feet long from here to here. And he's about 20 and a half feet tall and 21.5 feet tall if you include his ears. So yeah. So unlike the rest, they're not going to be violent with him. Next up is Skylar, which actually came with her, but we're not worrying about her. So ignore how these two things came apart and why she's so damaged. That was actually, well, these two things is from Toya, again. And her arms coming apart when she was originally holding her was from my quote-unquote bully back in 6th grade. Yeah. So 8 feet wide, half as wide as Polar Express, the polar bear. And 14 feet with the eggs, and 19 feet tall, 20 the ears. Wait, actually, oh, this 16 feet looks a bit good here. Wow, he's massive in comparison to her. But we're gonna get rid of them both because he's giving her back shots now. Next up is actually the reject, and the reject actually came before Skyward did because I got her for Valentine's Day 2018, but this is also back in 2016. I used in between this in 2018. And yeah, the toy was tail being gripped is 100% from Toya. So it was the nose being gone and as well as the hat being kind of destroyed. And yes, it is supposed to be Marshall. But, you know, I'm going to have him as a failure. So this is one of the rare ones that is the same length as height. I'll try to quote this as best as I can. They're both 16.25 feet tall and long. I said both like it's multiple, but yeah. And oh boy, speaking of failures, we have the Winnie the Pooh. I swear if anyone shows Alan this video and he types hot dog 700 times in the comments, I'll be mad. And just to show how much of a failure the other guy is, and how much of a fatty this guy is, he's 17 feet tall, so half a foot taller than Marshall. I'd never actually made a name for him. This guy's 9 feet wide, so yeah, fat. But we're gonna remove him. Strange to think how long I had some of these ones, over a decade. But anyway, now on to the babies that can't stand straight, apparently. Okay. Seeing this made me confused because I was like, no way they're as tall as the other two. But no, she's only 15.5 feet tall. Well, no, I meant 11.5 feet tall, which makes a bit of sense. And the Kuvi's Phil is 14 feet tall. With the biggest eyes I've ever seen. God dang, it's almost as big as my... Actually, it's so hard saying that without my finger getting in the way of the camera. But whatever, it doesn't matter. He's like 8 feet tall. And it shocked me with his height until I realized, yeah, these two are about even in terms of height. That... Come on. That he's 11.75 feet tall. So just as tall as the dragon. Yes, this is a dragon because of Swiss burial. What else should it be? And here's Shoro, one of the villains, one of the newer quote-unquote ones, if it was more like in the middle. I got it September